What's up, guys? Hopping back into some deadlift training. Um, I'm lifting in my basement because of the coronavirus thing going on right now. Um, so nothing too crazy. I had a 4x6 with 535 today. Went pretty well. Lifting with the Olympic weightlifting shoes on, so it's like a deficit. Um, this bar is super stiff. I actually have a deadlift bar on the way, so that'll make things a lot easier. This was week one in a pretty long deadlift cycle that I'm going to be doing. I don't know. I have some goals in mind that I want to hit at the end of it, but I'm not going to talk about them yet because we're going to see how things go and whatnot beforehand. So this is the second set. Went pretty well. It all kind of felt uh, heavy this day, but it kept moving and whatnot. And it was actually more than I was supposed to do 525. But I didn't have I didn't have enough plates. I don't have the 5 pound plates to make it 525. Is that even right? Dude, I have no clue. But regardless, I didn't have the right plates to do 525, so I did 535, which is fine because it went well. Um, couple of the reps, like the last couple of reps in the third and fourth sets, I could feel it being pretty hard at the lockout, which I knew was my problem. So I'm doing the right things to fix it. So I'm thinking the next couple weeks it'll get better. It's just in the past that hasn't happened to me until we get down to like the fours and threes to where it's been a problem on the lockout. But um, I think it's gonna be okay. I'm doing some new stuff like demo deadlifts, and if you don't know what those are, I want to explain them coming up. And I'm doing some more like glute, lower back, hamstring work. Um, that'll be good. I'm also doing these. So typically I do these off a block, um, which I made like homemade. So you'll see them in the next workout. But I'm just doing deadlifts with a band, and you could see on these the last set. I like struggled too. So like that's my problem right now, and we're working on it. Another thing to take into consideration is that since this is the first week um, of my lifting cycle, my body has to like adjust to the volume that I'm doing and everything because it's more than I was doing before, especially for deadlifts. Um, so at this point, I'm like really exhausted. So like obviously, if I had done these banded deadlifts first, I'd been able to use more weight. But after the 4 sets of the straight weight with 535, I was really exhausted. But that'll get better throughout the week. The conditioning and everything will get better, and everything's starts off super light so that there's more time to add weight from week to week. Also, I haven't really been deadlifting a whole lot at all before this, so even things like my straight deadlift form will get better um, from one week to the next, just because I'm going to be doing the movement more often, and I'm going to be practicing more often than I have been recently. So this week was a really good starting point. This day, because I have more later in the week, but this day was pretty good. So these are um, the demo deadlifts. Um, it's just you're just working that upper half of the deadlift. And I put bands on it um, just to make it a little harder. It's super light, but like my rectors and my hamstrings at this point um, hurt a lot. You could see me like pick it up on the first rep. It's kind of funny because it looks heavy. Um, like struggling a little bit at the top, but it's cool. Um, because I'm just getting the work in. So it's cool. I like these. I've been doing these twice a week because I was gonna do like glute ham raises and like reverse hypers and whatnot, but I don't have anything to do those with, so I've just been doing the demo deadlifts, and then my bench that I have actually has like a hamstring curl attachment to it. So I've been doing those two, um, like in placement of the reverse hypers, which isn't really the same thing, but it works a good bit. Um, yeah, and these will be easy to add weight to, I think. And I'm doing like mostly accessory work like this without a belt. And totally no belt on my second day, which I'll talk about. So these are deadlift stance box squats. Um, my bench is a little high, so I'm going to try and find something lower that I can use. This is super light too. This is like I was doing these with like 4 plates, with a belt like last year, but um, it's fine because it's the beginning of the program. Like I'm able to add like 50, probably like between 40, 50 pounds from week to week, just because of my condition's gonna be better, getting better. I'm gonna be getting stronger and stuff like that. So this is day 2. This is like my speed deadlift day. I did 20 sets of one with 355. Actually, it said 350, but I'm not gonna change it because I'm lazy. Um, but it's 355. I did 20 sets, and I included them all in here. The coming week, I might only include a couple, like maybe the first 5 and last 5, or even less than that, maybe. Um, but I didn't include all of them in here. They're all just the same. But it'll be right. They moved okay. I'm not super explosive, um, at all, and the band adds like 70 pounds at the top, I think. But this starting point, I've never done speed deadlifts. So those are the blocks that I'm talking about, by the way. But I've never done speed deadlifts before, um, off a box, off of blocks. Um, and that's a super like hard starting point for me, right at the like mid shin area. Like I just have a hard time generating power there. So I'm not explosive, and that's a bad starting point for me. But I think it'll help build strength in that range and whatnot. So I'm gonna keep it there. Um, some of them are faster than others. I think it might just be like positioning thing I have to get down. I have to get more familiar with, but um, I'm gonna waive these percentages in a couple weeks. This is 50. I'm going off for like 700 as being my max. So this is like um 50%. Then we go to 55 and 60, and then go back to 50 for like my deload week. Um, for only 10 sets, and then I'm gonna do 55, 60, 65, and then 60, 65, 75 for the last couple weeks, I think. Um, and hopefully, I think that'll. I'm gonna do them all beltless, and I think it'll do really good for working the upper half portion of the lift, because it's just extra reps, um, extra technique work. Um, you know, it's good stuff. So there's just a couple more here. So after these, I went into high bar pause squats. Um, Usually I would do these with like a yoga bar if I was at the gym, but the other gyms are closed. So I'm doing high bar, which has worked out well. Actually, because my back was like on fire after these, just because it was so much. Like I'm not used to doing 20 sets like this. It's just one. I might actually change it to sets of two, eventually, but that's a different story. Um, but so these pause squats are super light, um, but it's really hard. My back, I've realized, is like a big weakness of mine. Like all my strength's in my legs, So the high bar pause squats is really hard for me to like maintain the upright posture for me. Um, at the bottom of it, I started like pause for like 3 seconds. Um, I did 5 sets. I only got the second set and the third set, which is fine. Start off super light, but it was still hard. Just because all the stuff before it. I guess it was only like one exercise before, but it was a lot of, I guess a lot of, I don't know, I'll adjust to it in the coming weeks. My body will get used to it. But it was like pretty hard to just keep the upright posture. Two, nah, couple weeks ago, it actually might have been like a month ago at this point, like 3, maybe 4 weeks ago, I just squatted, 625, which was low bar, and I had a belt and knee sleeves on, obviously. Um, but so this will go up um, in the coming weeks pretty fast, I think. Because I used to squat high bar all the time, um, but I switched over because like my back was weak and like shorten the um, distance from the bar to the center of gravity, whatever. Um, so I did 5 sets of just pause, sets of three, and then I dropped down to um, 3 sets of six with 275. I think I'm gonna cut these out. They're just like this is just like crazy light, and like I didn't feel like I got like too much out of it. I don't know. It's extra volume. I'll see I'll see how I end up recovering from all this and whatnot, and then maybe I'll cut them out. Maybe I'll keep them. Um, and then on this second set of these that I did, um, right here, after it, after the set of six, I just held it in like a front squat position to like work my upper back a little bit more. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that a whole lot either. Um, I think it'd be like a good idea, but I think 275 is like maybe too light for it to just hold there and not do anything. Um, but these went well. I think I might just cut them out. I'll see. I like the pause squats though. I feel like they've helped me a lot in the past. Um, yeah, so here I am like holding it in a front squat position just for like 10 seconds, which is fine, but I didn't feel like I got too much out of it. After this, I did a couple sets of wide stance good mornings, which I haven't really done before. I always did like close stance good mornings, like a deadlift stance. Um, but I liked these. Like my hamstrings were pretty sore the day after, which might just be a culmination of everything. Um, again, just super light. Um, but I don't know if it's like a flexibility thing or something for me. It's just hard for me to keep my chest puffed down, my upper back arched. Um, I'm gonna try and get more horizontal with my torso, but like then my shoulders started cramping up at that point. But um, once I get to like 45 degrees, my like whole back just feels like it's gonna cave in, which is like a good thing because it's working. But I need as I get stronger, it'll be easier for me to get lower and whatnot, and I'll be able to like because it'll strengthen my core too, so I'll be able to hold it in a better position. Um, but this was the last thing I did um, this day, so I'll come back to you in a week or so um, with some more training and whatnot. Hopefully things are still going well and I'm recovering and whatnot. But I got like one more rep. Yeah, see, like even on that one, my upper back like rounded over a little bit. I might just have to focus on it more, focus on arching my upper back more. But I also might like try and loosen up my like upper back and upper rib cage so it can stay in that position. But yeah, that's training for this week. Um, appreciate you. Thanks for watching.